Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? This is a sort of a different episode to the normal season episode. This is a end of season review. And I think we're going to start doing these at the end of every season because I feel like it does give me a chance to look back on the season and kind of, put my thoughts to paper and kind of show you guys what I was trying to do with the signings, things like that, and just where we went wrong and where we went right this season. So we're going to start off with the season awards. We're then going to go into the squad. We'll go to the league competitions. We'll go to the transfers. We'll look at everything. Best 11. I don't think anything else we have to look at. I don't have the short list here. I'm going to keep that a secret. I do have I have been working my way through a short list of who I want to get. I'll give you a little hint. It's a left back, another centre mid. I know people are going to look at another centre mid, and potentially a striker. So there are some options there. We're going to have to see about that. But first off, let's go through the end of season rewards. As you see, Paul Pogba picking up player of the season. I was a bit surprised with this. I thought the player of the season would have been Anthony Martial or Senguis Under, because Senguis Under played absolutely fantastic second half of the season. But I guess Pogba was probably our best player of the season. Really, he picked up some good rewards, 7.35 in the Premier League. I mean, that pretty much, I think you can agree he's probably our best player at the moment. I do need a little bit more out of him. I am going to have to give him a new contract in his off season, hopefully. So hopefully we can get that done quickly. He's 28 now, so I think maybe a 4-year deal. That'll probably be the end of him here at United. But yeah, I think he's been fantastic. I was surprised Martial didn't get higher. I thought 27 goals this season was unbelievable. And then Bruno Fernandes earning it. I think Bruno Fernandes and Pogba are the key to this side really at the moment. I think we need to keep them. I think we maybe need to get someone else the load off them a little bit more so they can, do what they're great at doing a bit better. Goal of the season was Paul Pogba's versus West Ham. I believe this is the one I touted as goal of the season with an absolute banger from outside the box, which is an absolute beauty if I remember correctly. I don't remember which corner I went into, but I remember looking at it and saying that it's a potential goal of the season, and yes, it turns out to be the goal of the season, which is good to see. Diego Dalot whips across here to Shaw. Yeah, this is it here. Pogba back to Shaw, 1-2. Pogba outside the box, top left bins, absolutely unstoppable. No one's stopping that. 93rd minute, just rubbing the salt in the wounds there. Lovely finish from Paul Pogba. A good 4-1 win there. Signing of the season was interesting is Jude Bellingham. Now, I would not agree with this as the signing of the season. I think this is definitely not what I'd agree with. I think signing of the season for me personally was Guardiola. I think he was fantastic, and then a close second would have been Vlahovic. But I can kind of see why. He is only just 17 years old. He's worth 25.5 million. He's got a future here. Maybe not next season, but the season after. I mean, he's played 9 games last season. I didn't quite get him as much game time as I was hoping to get him, but look, I try to play as much as possible. I think he might have fallen behind the Hannibal Mejbri. That's the big issue that I'm seeing at the moment. So we'll have to see on that one. And then young player of the season, Senguis Under. Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. I think he probably was the young player of the season. I think he probably was the best of the young bunch. So look at the stats. Top goal scorer Anthony Martial, 27 goals. I personally I'd love to put him back on the left. I think he probably is better on the left, but he keeps banging them in. I have to keep him there. Paul Pogba 7.3, Senguis Under 14 assists. He was fantastic the second half of the season. He just absolutely took it to another level. Fred with the highest pass completion percentage, interesting, 95. I don't think he played as much as you'd hope this season. Pogba, Martial, the player of the match award, picking up 6 each. Pogba picked Martial cards at 7, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Brandon Williams, Luke Shaw, and Bruno Fernandes all picking up a red card. So there you see our result. Match of the season was a 6-0 win against Wolves, and pretty much the lowlight of the season was our 3-1 loss to City. Yeah, we do need to improve. I think this season wasn't exactly what I was hoping we'd get out of it. That's definitely something we need to work on. So let's go to the squad. Martial picks up the golden boot. Brilliant to see that. Anything else? Senguis Under claims players, young player. Love that. Alisson gold. It didn't quite get there, unfortunately. But team of the season, Martial, Pogba in there. That's good to see. Other than that, very low, representation. I think we do need to get, Bruno Fernandes in there, but I suppose De Bruyne is just such a world-class player. It's going to be very difficult to do. So let's look at the squad. First off, the players leaving. Sorry, these are got 23 squad on there. I'm not going to sign any of these youth prospects. They're not good enough. Sergio Romero gone. Marcus Rojo gone. And Juan Mata, yeah, they're all leaving. Look at the wages. 155 for Mata, can't keep that in the books. 130, can't keep that in the books. 81k, can't keep it on the book. They're not worth the money. So, look, they've got to go. So, great servants for the club, but, off they go, off to bigger and better things. But over 30, it's just, they just don't quite have it. We do have a few players next season. Pogba, I probably will re-sign. Might look to move on Eric Bailly and Chris Smalling, but Chris Smalling does have that, Dean Henderson will get a new deal. Brandon Williams will probably get a new deal, and same too with Ethan Laird, who's a cracking player. So hopefully we can keep them going. Ooh, apologies there. Had a quick sneeze. I think I got the mute on quickly enough. But anyway, let's look at average rating so you guys can see who's been the top performer. Harold Mebry only played one game this season in the Premier League, but he was the top rated. I didn't quite get enough time to play him. I couldn't play him in Europe this season because I didn't have enough space in the squad to put him in. I think next season he'll qualify as an exempt because he's been at the club for 2 years, so that will be, really good. So that'll make our life a lot easier for sure. So looking forward to that. Pogba, pretty self-explanatory. Bruno Fernandes is self-explanatory. Carlos Elena came up with some great plays when needed, so I was happy with his performance this season. He's a good backup. He's not a guy I'm expecting to be like a dominant player. I kind of brought him in just to be a type of guy that would just keep the points ticking. Martial, Unger, Alex, Axel, I call him Alex, Axel Tuanzebe, good game. Tonali, Wan-Bissaka, I'm going to be honest here, I was disappointed in Wan-Bissaka and Dalot this season. I didn't think they were quite as good as they were last season. So I definitely need to get more out of them. I was potentially looking at getting a right back in, but I think the cost of getting a much better right back is a bit above our pay grade. I think Wan-Bissaka does have that bit more room for growth. I'm hoping to get that out of him. I thought Bellingham was a good signing. Jean-Claire Todibo, I think this guy's going to be an absolute beast for us in the future. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do next season. The full season under his belt. We paid 32.5 million for him, and he's already worth 44. So looking forward to getting him on board for sure. Eric Bailly there. I think he's probably a player I think we might have to let go. I do like Eric Bailly. I think he's a fantastic player in real life, but maybe it is time for him to move on. Maguire though, I think Maguire needs to move on. He really isn't in my plans. Like, he just doesn't fit my style. Like, some people would Harry Maguire will fit perfectly for it, but for me, it just doesn't work. He's just not quick enough, really. I think that's really the big issue I have with him. He's very slow. That causes a bit of problems. I'd take 30 million for him probably to get him off the books, maybe even 25 just to get the wages off, to be fair. So, we'll see. Other players coming in. Luke Shaw, I really do think we need a left back. I thought Luke Shaw played better this season, but he was kind of poor, to be honest. Angel Gomez progressing nicely. I'm happy with where he is. Brandon Williams was very poor this season, to be fair. I have to give him that. Vlahovic has got a low ranking, but he came in clutch. He got 8 goals. He did the work. You look at that. He's played 1.3k minutes. He's got 8 goals. Mark Josh played 3k, and he's only got 10. So you can kind of see, he is, pretty versatile. And this kind of look at the point where I'm kind of looking at a striker, because Rashford just wasn't brilliant this season. He had some great spells, but he also had times where he just goes missing. And to be honest, I can't afford that. Rojo, of course, is gone. I thought Guardiola stepped up when he needed to perfectly. I know he played a lot of substitute appearances, so I'm looking forward to seeing him next season. I didn't want to just, throw him in the deep end too much. He is only 18, I think. He might be 19 now, but he's played 10 times for Croatia. He's starting to turn into an absolute stud, I think, in the future. De Gea, the 6.4, I don't really know what De Gea did wrong. Andres Pereira, I think his time here at United is probably done, but I might keep him around, probably for maybe another year. I think 2 of these guys need to go. Either Fred, Andres, or Gerald. I think 2 of these need to go. De La Feu, I'm going to be honest, bit of a bust signing. I thought we'd get a lot more out of him, but he just hasn't turned up the way I was expecting him to. I thought he would be a 30-40 million player, but he's kind of playing like a 20 million player like we paid for him, so I'm a little bit disappointed by that. Dean Henderson, Goebbels, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name at all, but he's advancing nicely. I bought this guy as a kind of a 4th, 5th season if we go there type of player, so I'm hoping to see him. Ethan Lara, of course, I think is going to be a good player in the future. Heath Chong, I don't know why he's got such a low rate. I thought he played well when we needed him. Like, he does seem to come up with plays when we needed him to play. So, hang on, let's have a look at Heath Chong. I want to have a look at where is his Europa League 4 thing? 6.7, so he's not the best. Yeah. I mean, we really just haven't quite got what we need from a right winger. And I haven't really thought of that. So, maybe I do need to look at another right winger. But, there's obviously guys here that will move on. I'm hoping to kind of shift the depth chart this season. Let's have a look at best position. Depth-wise, I think right back's sorted. We're 3 deep right back. I mean, I could throw any 3 of them for the entire season. I'd be pretty confident we'd survive. Centre back. Do we need another centre back? I think we got enough, to be honest. I mean, probably have, I think we have 6 good centre backs there. I think we're pretty solid there. I might need to buy one more maybe if there's a cheapie going about. Other than that, midfield's looking good, although we need a little bit more. I did think Sandro Tonali would improve a bit quicker than what he is. I mean, he's a great player. He's going to be a fantastic player, but he's not quite the finished package right now. It's a bit disappointing. So yeah, that's the squad. That's kind of what I think about things. I don't know if you guys are interested in anything else. If you guys are interested in anything like dynamics, team report, let me know and I can try to include it in next season's version of this. Anyway, let's talk about the Premier League. So we finished 4th, as you can see. Pretty disappointing to finish 4th. I thought we were good enough to finish 2nd. Next season, the goal is to challenge for the title. I feel like we need to be within somewhere between 5 to 7 points of the winner. I think anything less than that, and that will be a failure of a season. I want to look at the draws. Let's see, who do we draw to here that we shouldn't have drawn to? West Brom at home. Shouldn't have drawn to them. They got relegated. We shouldn't have drawn to them. Crystal Palace away. Probably another 2 points dropped. You look at that. It's probably 86 points there. So, we can definitely change that. The Everton game we should have won. That's probably 88 points. That puts us within 7 points already without even looking at the losses columns. We do need to improve there for sure. The losses... Brighton, Leeds. I know Brighton finished 5th, but we still shouldn't be losing to them. Leeds is a terrible loss. They got relegated with 22 points. I mean, how did we lose to them? That is a serious question. Sheffield shouldn't have lost to them either. City, I can understand. Everton away. Where are Everton? I mean, 12th, not good enough. And same with Burnley. So, really, we've known to blame ourselves for our finish position. We kind of put ourselves in the own spot. So, we need to change that. Part of the season, I think Kevin De Bruyne, it was part of the season. Interesting, João Cancelo was up there. I didn't think he'd be that good, but I suppose he's a quality player. I would love to have him at right back, to be honest. I don't know why he's not scouted, though. That's weird. Wanted by Real Madrid, of course. They want everyone, seemingly. Semi Under was top on assists. We had top goal scorer, players of the match, Raul Jimenez with 7. Interesting. So, a lot of work to us to do. I think, we do need to improve there. Champions League, unfortunately, knocked out by Salzburg. We weren't very good in the Champions League. Let's be 100% honest here. Just not good enough. I think really, when you look at the results, 2 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses. I mean, losing to Fenerbahce was poor. Losing to Salzburg, even worse. I don't mind losing to Barcelona. We were outplayed that game. They're the better side. So, I think next season, if we do get to the Champions League, we do need to have a bit more depth in the squad. So, I think that's where we fell up ultimately. We shouldn't have been behind by Salzburg. I think Salzburg did do pretty well. I think Salzburg got to the quarterfinal, did they? Yeah, they did. They got to the quarterfinal before falling into Real Madrid, so they weren't too bad. But I think we could have given Real Madrid a run for their money. But that's just me. Europa League, of course, knocked out by Napoli. Unfortunately, I did think we were pretty good, but yeah, just not quite good enough yet. I think that's kind of the problem I have is I can't really see the issue with the team. Like, I think we're good enough to win, but obviously I'm kind of looking through it and, kind of like the, rose-tinted goggles in a way. FA Cup knocked out in the 5th round. City, pretty good side. Can't argue with that. This is a disappointing one. Knocked out by Carabao Cup by Luton Town. I just don't understand that performance. It's back-to-back season we failed in the Carabao Cup. I think that's a big problem. I think next season we just have to get through to that. I don't mind losing in like the two-legged home and away tie version, but losing before that, it's not acceptable really. And I think that's ultimately where, I think this season we'll probably look back at as kind of where we kind of, failed things up. So obviously it's one of that. Let's look at the best 11 if we can go to that. This is our all-time best 11, isn't it? Yeah, this is our all-time. So Wan-Bissaka, CB, Maguire, and Luke Shaw in front of De Gea. Pogba, Bruno, interesting. Carlos Elena is now there at the cam position. Sengui's under Rashford and Martial. It does kind of ask the question about where do we go from here next season. I do think we need a left back, potentially even a left mid as well, and potentially another cam. I think maybe I might focus on left back, left mid, and a cam, and kind of work on this kind of, you know, L shape here and try to improve this, because I think this is good enough. I think this is good enough, and I think this is good enough. I just think these are the weak links of the team right now. I think the back three, when we put Jean-Claire Todibo there, it's pretty solid. I hope it's going to be solid. I'm trying to look at this with an interesting kind of way. Yeah, I might have to change my tackle a little bit. I am to June currently on my normal save, so if we kind of we're pushing through. We're making progress, but it is kind of slow progress. Club vision, I don't think anyone cares about that really. Finances, let's look at the old money, because that is the most important thing at United, of course, with everything else going on at the moment. We have 150 million to spend, so, you know, look, if we can get, you know, a left back for 30 or maybe 30-40 million, and then potentially look to spend on a left mid and a, you know, centre mid for that price, I'd be happy. Again, I don't think centre mid's like an absolute necessity, but if it has to be, we'll deal with it then and there. 150 million in the budget, happy with that. I'm hoping to sell a few players as well, so that'd be a big increase. Wage budget looks all right, so yeah, hopefully this all works out pretty well. Next season's a big one. I think next season we have to really, you know, buckle up. You know, I think getting Alexis Sanchez off the books, as I said 1,000 times now, probably is the most important decision, and I'm hoping we will. Oh god, I forgot the transfers. Actually, he's just going to finish it up there, and I forgot about the transfers. So let's talk about the transfer history today. We'll do it by fee, and we'll go through it like that. So first off, Sandro Tonali, great signing. I was really happy to get him in, but he hasn't quite like turned up the heat the way I was hoping he would. I thought he'd be a 40-50 million player. He's kind of stuck at that 38 million mark, so I'm expecting a bit more from him next season. Jean-Claire Todibo, fantastic signing. I think he's an absolute beast for the future. I mean, he's an absolute weapon. He is. Josko Guardiola, I think he's a brilliant player as well. Absolutely delighted with what we got from him. Jude Bellingham, one for the future. Gerald Deulofeu, I think he was a bit of a mistake. I'm not going to lie, disappointed. I probably would take 20 million to move him on, to be fair. I think that'll probably be a good deal. Dusan Vlahovic for 10 million was an absolute steal, and same with Carlos Lena for 7, so definitely happy with them. Paul Nubel from Mainz, he's a guy that I'm just going to, you know, keep an eye on. He's got some nice potential. I'm just going to hope he just, you know, keeps going with his determination's a little low though, so I'm hoping he'll kick things up. But we've already spent 2.5 million on him, and he's already up to 33.7, so yeah, I'm happy with that. And then we bought William Goebbels from Monaco for just 500,000, and he's already at 3.5, so we're doing well with him. He's 4 million here, so look, if he turns good, he turns bad, he doesn't, but we'll sell him on for a profit. So look, I'm happy with that. The transfers here, Victor Lindelof, I just never really saw Victor Lindelof as a 40 million player. I mean, I think that was robbing. I think we robbed them absolutely blind. So decided to get that one out of the way. And then we have Jack McCormack. I've lost both these players here, Ricardo Menabo as well, on free transfers because I didn't offer them a contract. Now, I understand, wow, he's worth 2.9. Flooper sticks, I should have kept him. I probably was a little bit, you know, pessimistic with them. Joel Pereira, I think, was 2.6 billion. Yeah, he wanted to leave. I wasn't going to get in his way. Dimitri Mitchell, I let him go for free. And then Scott McTominay, I loaned out to Porto. I think Scott McTominay's probably a guy who's probably, he just isn't good enough, is he? He's a championship fielder. And then Dan James, well, look, actually, I'm looking forward to getting him back. He's a good player. I think he could potentially be the kind of, I think would I be crazy to think he's probably better than Rashford on the left? Might have to. Jesse Lingard, I think his contract actually ends at the end of the season. Yeah, he will be gone. I have absolutely no time. Jesse Lingard, he can go. Timothy Fosu-Mensah just hasn't developed the way I was expecting him to. I'll let him go for free. Alexis Sanchez, he is just a wage thief. There's no other words to describe him. Absolute wage thief. That's what he is. other than that, I think anyone else, they're all estimable youth prospects. But anyway, that has been the season review for season 2. Any other stats you guys want to get out from this, please let me know. But yeah, I gotta get busy with this transfer market. New episode will be out Monday, season 3. I'm looking forward to that one big time. I've kind of needed like a bit of a refresh from Football Manager in the last week. I've kind of been playing a bit too much in different saves, so it's nice to kind of take a little break here. But yeah, I think this season break's been a good time, and hopefully we can push through now and, you know, make that big jump. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Have a great day. Peace.